Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum is still playing out the short-term bearish divergence, while Bitcoin is now on the edge of a break to the downside, which I'll talk about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, starting off on the daily Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is technically still within this bullish trend on the daily time frame because we have not yet broken the higher low, higher high price structure. But with that being said, even though we have not yet confirmed a new bearish trend reversal, of course, as I've been saying basically every day over the last 1 week, we do now have an active bearish divergence on the daily Bitcoin chart, which, as I've been saying over the last 1 week, means we're likely going to see reduced bullish momentum over the next couple of weeks in the form of either choppy sideways price action or potentially a bit more of a pullback, once again, within the next few weeks. And obviously, so far, it's been around 1 week since this bearish divergence has been playing out, and so far, it's played out in the form of choppy sideways price action, one of the most common outcomes from a bearish divergence. And so at least in the somewhat short term right here, I would not necessarily expect a lot of bullish momentum like we've seen previously in the bullish trend, because once again, right now, we're basically seeing a pause from that bullish trend. But of course, after we continue to play out this pause, potentially over the next 1 to 2 weeks, it is possible to resume the bullish trend later on, because at least as of right now, the DXY is still in a bearish trend. And now, obviously, just over the last 1 day or so, the DXY has had a small bounce in the immediate short term, which is a very small bearish signal for the short term for Bitcoin. But once again, if you're looking at the actual trend in terms of the highs and the lows, of course, the DXY is still forming lower highs and lower lows, which is a bearish trend on the daily time frame, which is why the price of Bitcoin, at least for now, and as we've seen since the beginning of October, has been in a bullish trend. And so basically, I would only start to flip more bearish again on Bitcoin in terms of the trend if we begin to see more of a bullish reversal here in the DXY. Basically, if the DXY breaks out into new higher highs and forms higher lows alongside higher highs, then obviously in that scenario, once again, that would be a stronger bearish signal for Bitcoin, pointing towards a bearish trend reversal on the daily time frame. But at least as of right now, we have not yet seen that confirm in the DXY. So like I said earlier in the video, once again, we can still remain within the bullish trend on the daily chart. It's just right now in the somewhat short term over the next couple of weeks, we're taking a bit of a pause from that bullish trend due to this bearish divergence. And if we're taking a look at the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, once again, we have this previous line of resistance now acting as new support, which is sitting at around 40.8K. And so basically, if this short-term pullback continues, then I would expect a bounce around that level. But if we end up seeing a confirmed break below 40.8K, it's possible we could bounce at around 40,000. That's where we have found support just here. But below that level, our next major area of support is sitting at around 38,000 approximately, based on previous resistance. And if you're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is on the edge of a break to the downside from this symmetrical triangle pattern. In fact, at least as of right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is already trading below this ascending line of support, but at least for now, we don't really have a lot of confirmation actually confirming the break to the downside, at least not yet. And so as always, when it comes to confirming a break of a level on the chart, we need to at least see some candle closes on the other side of that level, if not ideally a retest of that level, flipping it, for example, in this example, into new resistance. And now we don't necessarily have to see a retest of that level, but if we do end up seeing a retest and a rejection from previous support, flipping it into new resistance, that is just extra confirmation confirming the break to the downside. But basically, for as long as we see some candle closes actually confirm well below this line of support right here, then once again, that can confirm the break to the downside, which would set up the technical price target, which is a bearish price target in this case if we're breaking support. And taking a look at that bearish price target for the price of Bitcoin, considering we are potentially breaking that support level, if we actually further confirm this break to the downside, that sets up a technical price target at around 38.3K to 38.4K approximately. And so from where we are right now at around the point of the break to the downside to that price target, that's roughly around an 8 to 9% move to the downside in the price of Bitcoin. Or for example, with a 10x leverage trade, that 8 to 9% move can become an 80 to 90% profit, nearly doubling your money with a 10x leverage trade. But obviously that is not personal financial advice. I'm just giving you an example of what a 10x leverage trade can potentially return in this example if we complete the price target. And as of right now, personally, I've not yet entered a new position because we have not yet, once again, seen a lot of confirmation below this line of support. But if we do end up seeing a little bit more confirmation, like for example, breaking below some of these previous weeks right here on the chart, setting a new lower low in place. And once again, if we see more candle closes below this line of support right here, which by the way is sitting at around 41.8 to 41.9k approximately, then in that case, once again, if we see more confirmation of this break to the downside, personally, I'll be looking to enter a short position to trade this move towards the technical price target. And if you want to know more about this short-term trading strategy, my short-term trading strategy when it comes to this breakout trade right here, then check out my last video here on the channel, because in that video, I went into more detail about this trading strategy right here. And when it comes to take profits, if we do end up entering this short position and continuing the break to the downside, then personally, I'll be taking some profits off the table at some major levels of support. For example, this line of support at around 40.8k. Personally, I will be closing some of my short position once I actually enter a short position. Once again, if we further confirm the break to the downside, I will be closing some of that short position, taking some profits off the table around that level of support. And so obviously, in case we end up seeing a bounce from that level, obviously I've already taken some profits off the table in that scenario. But personally, I will not be closing all of that trade at this support line right here in case we end up seeing a further break to the downside towards that technical price target. Of course, I would keep some of that short position remaining open in case we fully complete this technical price target to the downside. But once again, that's just my personal trading strategy. That is not personal financial advice for you, because I don't know your personal financial situation. And speaking of trading Bitcoin or really any other crypto, personally, I take these trades over on Bybit, so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit in the description down below and in the pinned comment. And in fact, if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account, you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot KYC on Bybit or you cannot access Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex in the description down below and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link to make a Bitflex account and deposit $100 worth of crypto and make one trade over on Bitflex, you can get 10 USDT completely for free. And so if you're trading crypto anyway, or if you're preparing to take this next trade, then make sure to set up ready to go with one of those accounts using those links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And just taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, once again, we still have that strong level of liquidations at around 40.5k. And we also have another major area of liquidity at around 43.6k, going up towards around 43.8k. And so basically, those are some potential short-term price targets, depending on if we're breaking short-term support or resistance. Of course, in this case, if we're breaking support, then obviously the price will be attracted towards around 40.5k, which is where a lot of long positions could be liquidated. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the weekly time frame, and over the last one day, not much has changed here on the weekly ETH to US dollar chart. And so if you're new to the channel and you want to know more about this chart right here, then simply watch my last video here on the channel. So getting straight into the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and once again, the bearish divergence is still active, like I've been saying for Bitcoin and also for ETH over the last 1 week or so. And so once again, we have not necessarily confirmed a new bearish trend forming lower lows or lower highs. Once again, that has not necessarily been confirmed, but either way, here in the bullish trend, at the very least, we're due to see a bit of a pause or break from the trend, because once again, this bearish divergence means we're due to see a reduced bullish momentum, which usually plays out in the form of either choppy sideways price action, if not potentially a bit more of a pullback in the price of ETH over the coming weeks. And obviously, so far over the last 1 week, this is exactly what we have seen here in the price of ETH, a lot of choppy sideways price action as expected. And as for support levels, looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool here on the 8-hour time frame, we still have this 23.6% Fibonacci level of support at around 2150. And we also have some more support closer towards around 2.1k based on previous resistance, but below that we have the next level of support based on a Fibonacci level at around 2010 to 2020, and below that level we have even more support down towards around 1910. And if we're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 2-hour time frame, obviously this short-term bearish divergence, at least for now, is still currently active, because as of right now, we have not yet confirmed any new higher lows or higher highs in both the price or the RSI. And And obviously, we have not yet confirmed any new bullish divergence, which, by the way, if we do confirm a new bullish divergence on this 2-hour time frame, that can help to invalidate the previous bearish divergence like what we saw back here. But once again, at least for now, that has not yet happened, which means this short-term bearish divergence is still currently playing out. So in the immediate short term here, just on the 2-hour chart, technically we are currently more bearish than bullish. And as for support, once again, we should find support around these lows, once again, sitting closer towards around 2150 to 2160. And as for some other important levels in the short term, taking a look at the Fibonacci retracement tool from swing high to swing low here on the 2-hour chart. As of right now, the price of ETH is running into this previous Fibonacci level of resistance, now acting as new support, which is sitting at around 2205. But basically, if we end up seeing a break below that level, then once again, we could return down towards these local lows. But on the other hand, if we do actually bounce from that level of support, then we could find some more short-term resistance at around 2240 to 2250. And we also have another important area of resistance based on the golden pocket sitting in between around 2300 going up towards around 2310, which is also where the price of ETH turned around only a few days ago. And so once again, here in the imminent short term, just on the 2-hour chart, we are currently looking slightly more bearish than bullish due to this bearish divergence now playing out. But remember, these bullish and bearish moves here on the 2-hour time frame are basically making up that sideways consolidation, that choppy sideways price action here on the daily time frame as a result of that larger bearish divergence. But believe it or not, even in choppy sideways price action just like this, you can actually make a lot of profit very easily. And if you want to know how to do that, then make sure to watch the video in the bottom left of your screen right now, because that video right there shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action, and the video in the top left shows you how you can profit if the price is bullish or bearish using longs and shorts. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.